Hello everyone, welcome back to Crypto Rosetta. Joe here from Dubai. Now it's fantastic to be back on. I've been ill kind of all week. It's been rubbish, but I'm feeling okay now. Now this video is going to be me kind of covering some high time frame ideas of what I think can happen to Bitcoin, rest of the markets. We're going to take a look at gold. We're going to take a look at DXY. And yeah, it's just my ideas, guys. It's not financial advice. So if it doesn't play out at all, don't blame me. You've got to make your own decisions out there, which is what we always tell our community in the Discord. Now, if you enjoy this content, take a second to smash that like now. Really do appreciate it. And if you're new with us, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications. Now, let's get into it. So starting us off. Guys, I want to talk about Bitcoin. You know, I'm bearish. I still believe that the bear market is going to continue. We've seen a rally in the bear market up this year, and I currently believe that the highs are in for this year. So, got it marked out. Major resistance zone, 31k to 38k. It's been the same all year. We got up there a couple of times, and we've got, majorly rejected. Now, for the bulls, you bulls out there, the blue trend line, okay, you have to hold that trend line for, continuing on the stairway to heaven. Talking about the guys who are talking about 100k by the end of the year, I don't think so. I think that's absolutely ridiculous. I don't think that's going to play out at all. And maybe you do. If you completely disagree with me, leave a comment below. Love to hear why. However, once that trend line broke, guys, I said things could get pretty ugly pretty quickly. Been talking about that for weeks now. And yes, we got the sell-off. Looking like a bit of a bear flag at the moment on Bitcoin. And that is affecting crypto massively across the board. Now, this initial move down, I don't think it's over. Did expect more action this week gone. I'll be honest, this week gone was pretty flat. Kind of felt like we're waiting for some news that hasn't come. But like they say, when bad news comes, the sell-off's going to come, right? So could it be the next few days coming? Absolutely. We know there's a lot of news circulating. FTX is likely to liquidate assets, and we've seen pullbacks on many altcoins already this weekend. Now, kind of feel that Bitcoin's going to go down a little bit further. It'll get a bounce, but I do not think we're going to get to see new highs this year. That is my prediction, folks. I do believe that the top is in for 2023, and we're looking pretty bearish going into 24, in my opinion. Now, targets to look out for. Main target that hasn't changed. It's always been my opinion that we need to retest sub 10k level. Some people think that's absolutely crazy. How can something Bitcoin go up to 69k? You'll never see 10k again, or you missed the bottom, blah blah blah. Okay, well, that's absolutely fine, but I'm sticking to my plan, and I do believe that we are going to see new lows on Bitcoin. Now, prices to be watching out for, significant support levels. Once I think we'll break the 23k level, probably get a bounce, and then we'll probably head back down to this area around about 19.5, just around about 19.600, 19.500 here. Next level, around that 16k region. Then the 12k region, which a lot of, bears out there are kind of thinking that is going to be the bottom of the bear market. I personally don't. I mean, I'm not saying it wouldn't be a potential good area to start dollar cost averaging if we get there. Some people would be delighted to just dollar cost average at the current lows of around 15.5 or 16k. Some people aren't even sure that we're going to get there again, and are pretty already gutted that they didn't buy. But let's see what happens in the next few months, guys, because this market can definitely humble people. People can think that, you don't get these rallies or these the rallies that go on throughout the year, rather. But as you know, if you've been following me or you've been listening to any of this stuff that comes out this gob, that I've been saying that since early in January 2022, I did think that we're in a multi-year bear market. That bear market was going to last over 2 years, possibly 3 years, maybe even longer. Who knows? Don't want to scare anyone, but, just got to be aware of it. If you're not aware of the possibility of these things happening, then you really need to study markets back in history. That's all I'm going to say on that, folks. So I think it's a multi-year bear market. I think we've had the rally in the middle, and I think it's time for that last leg down. I don't know how long that last leg down is going to take. Could it be, longer than the first leg, which I believe was, the 69k down to 15k, or could it be quicker? Absolutely. Can there be a capitulation event? Absolutely. But however we get there, however long it takes, guys, my main target remains 9600 to 3600 is where I'm planning to buy. As soon as that changes, if that changes at any moment, I will let you guys know, especially if you're a member of ours in our Discord. Now, moving on. I want to have a look at this chart, ECC, guys, because this is an interesting chart again. Seeing a massive run up in the bull run, okay, and now we're starting to see a bit of a rooftop reversal. She goes, and then down she goes, starting off with this lower high back in September 22. Now we had the rally, the ETH version 2 rally, as you guys remember, going back. Oh, hard to believe that was 12 months ago, right? Time's absolutely flying, but yeah, that was 12 months ago. And since then, got the parallel channel on the screen, constantly setting lower high, that's the lower high, that's the lower high. This is not good for ETH. And more importantly, this is not a good look for altcoins. I haven't got the Bitcoin dominance chart on, but I'm sure you guys know what's been going on with Bitcoin dominance. We also talk about that regularly, that, that has been on a significant run up, and I don't think that one is cooked either. Probably bring up the Bitcoin dominance chart on another video coming up this week. But I do think that it's still looking bad for ETH-BTC. Can it, take the top of this channel again, get a little bullish, start people thinking, oh, maybe the bottom's in? Absolutely, but I think it'll still eventually get rejected. But I still think it's, going back down. Significant levels, to watch out for around the 0.045. If that breaks, guys, I've got it on the screen, you hear it. I've talked about a potential altcoin extinction event. I still think that is going to happen, especially on a lot of the scammy, crappy projects out there. And there's a whole load of them, folks. Over 20,000 cryptocurrencies, and it's absolutely ridiculous. There's no way that any of those, there's no way the vast majority of those can be of any use to anyone other than scam retail out of their money. So, expecting if this parallel channel breaks to the downside, folks, things are going to get very ugly, and that's kind of where I do think a lot of these projects, these altcoins, are going to zero, which could signal the possible end of the bear market. Who knows? But that is definitely a possibility in my mind. Now, let's take a look at some other markets, because I think it's all kind of interesting at the moment, the way I see things playing out. Let's take a look at gold here. Now, a lot of people really bullish on gold. I am not bullish on gold. I think what we've witnessed is a possible triple top, if I'm honest. Triple top rejection, major resistance at what is kind of essentially the all-time high. Yes, we did set a new all-time high, albeit by a few dollars, folks. But that 2100 region on gold is looking, major resistance. Now, if I'm wrong, I've got invalidation, is consolidation, significant consolidation above $2,100, but that's got to happen before we see sub 1800. Currently, gold is around about 1920 at the moment. I think it's going to break 1800, and I think it's going to go, much further down. Got a potential Elliott-wave count, 3 waves up, possible start of 5 waves down. Now, no way of telling if that is the way things are going, but you guys have seen I've got a potential idea here. Again, my main target for gold being 1550 to 1440 is the kind of region that I am expecting it to test. I think that things are getting harder. I still think cash is king out there. I do think that, economically things are looking bad. We're seeing it all over the news where the politicians start telling you guys there's not going to be a recession. I remember the last 2 recessions, there was a recession after the politicians started to say there's not going to be a recession. So let's see how that plays out. But when you've got politicians telling you there's not going to be a recession, in my opinion, that's normally a bad sign. So, do I think gold is going to go on this major bull run either right now? No, I don't. I think it's just part of all assets are, going to get sold off. And I don't think that gold is what safe bet either, in my opinion. Now, let's take a look at the Dow Jones. Dow Jones, it's been going sideways a lot for many months, but potentially if the top is in on the year for the Dow Jones, it essentially just set another lower high again, not reaching the all-time high of 2021. Again, my invalidation, consolidation above 36k, but I am expecting the Dow Jones to pull down quite significantly now if the economic outlook turns, pretty bad. I still think, we've still got high inflation. Yes, we keep seeing, reduction in CPI, and they're saying we're combating inflation. However, one CPI uptick, guys, and I think there's going to be a major sell-off in these markets. I'm potentially looking at the Dow Jones. Oh, excuse me, losing my voice a bit here, guys. Yeah, potentially looking at the Dow Jones going much lower. And let's be honest, if the Dow Jones was to lose 25k, which I do think is, possible, I'm not saying yet. I'm not going to say yet if I think that is going to happen. It's a bit more of a harder read, in my opinion. But things can get very ugly if that kind of 25k range was to be broken on the Dow Jones. But I would not be surprised if we, see a retest of that going into 2024 to close out the bear market. Let's see how that one's going to play out. We'll have a look at the NASDAQ. Again, NASDAQ been on an epic rally this year. Everybody flipping super bullish. Loads of people who got wrecked on crypto, who got sick of crypto, got out of altcoins and thought, oh, sod it, I'm going to go into stocks. And that's exactly, how smart money wants to take retail's money with the YOLO environment of, oh, I might as well throw my money in a NASDAQ or a Netflix, or I heard this NVIDIA stock at $450 is a great buy. Well, guess what, guys? It's absolutely not. You missed it, in my opinion, and that's okay to say you missed something. Stop buying these things, really high. When you start seeing them all over the news, when you start having all your friends talking about them, when you start seeing them all over X and you think, whoa, look at these have gone up 200%. And then you start buying, guess what, guys? It's not the time to be buying. You missed that. It's okay, because smart money is going to be selling at those levels. Now, again, on the NASDAQ, yes, been on an epic run, but not reached that all-time high, possibly set a lower high. We had to move back down. We've possibly set another lower high now. Now, we're going to have to see how it plays out next week or the coming weeks. Can we get higher than this? Absolutely. I haven't got an invalidation level really on the NASDAQ other than, setting a new all-time high. But right now, it's a lower high in for the moment. And I'm expecting, kind of zigzag down on the NASDAQ. And if it's going to be a major sell-off, again, could there be a capitulation event or something happen in these markets? Absolutely. But I think we're going to work our way down. And again, I've always thought that the NASDAQ could retest under that 10k level. Got this high way back here on February 20, just before the COVID crash, coming in at around about 9,600. I think that is an interesting level that wouldn't really get tested. Kind of just blew straight through in the COVID bull run, or post-COVID bull run rather. So would not be surprised if we go back down to that level on the NASDAQ. Not going to go through a whole load of stocks, but looking at Tesla, because I think it's an interesting one that links in. Again, a lot of people have been FOMOing into this one. But again, just in a clear downtrend, folks. First leg down, then you got the bear trap here, then we've got a rally, potential just a free wave correction up, setting a lower high, not taking out any of these highs over here of 22. And again, is another lower high in potentially. We're going to have to see how this one plays out next week. But I am expecting Tesla to come back down to around about $60, maybe $40 region. But I do think there's a bear market low coming on Tesla, along with many other stocks. Not going to go through all of them. But I do think that, lower lows are coming significantly on some. And for anyone who thinks that, $60 on Tesla is ridiculous, how could it ever go down to $60? Guys, you only got to look over here to the left. I mean, come on, look at this, $20 for like so long. It's still 3x on that. So just because something went up here, don't think that down here is ridiculous. It just means that over here at the all-time highs, it was extremely overbought, and people were just buying this at way too high a price. And you get burnt if they don't sell or don't get out. That's what happens. That's what people get humbled in these markets. Remember, every dollar you make is a dollar that somebody else lost. Now, wanted to talk about the VIX. Not a lot of people talk about this one, but I just thought it very quickly interesting thing to bring up, just an idea of mine. Now, got it labeled on here. When the VIX, major spikes, we know that, crazy things are happening in the markets, normally a crash, which, as we can see here, big spikes on the 08 financial crisis and also COVID crash of 2020. But here, historically, if the VIX is above 50, it's normally a great buy to just get into markets in general. So we're going to be interested to see, in the next coming years, months, who knows, next week, you just don't know when these events are going to happen. If we did know when this was going to happen, we'd all be trillionaires. But unfortunately, we definitely cannot predict that, even with any indicators on Earth. I don't care who you are. So who knows if a big spike's coming, but I just wanted to say, yeah, again, historically, we know where there's great buys, but I've got these areas labeled out now. The VIX is currently sitting at around about 13, which is, fairly low. But if the VIX can get any spikes, above 20 and certainly up to that 30 level, again, we've seen, when the VIX is spiking back up to 30, the market is probably pulling back. And I do think that we are due some, spikes up to that range at a minimum coming soon. And yeah, expecting some downside in the markets. Also, you can see here when the VIX is really low, this is, look at this period from 2012 to, all the way through 2019. Couple of spikes in between, but mostly very, very low on the VIX. That's during a time of a major bull run. So that's kind of, saying that things are going pretty well. However, when the VIX is low, but I still believe we're in the bear market, that is not a good sign to me. That is a sign that, potentially that the bear market rally, it has either topped or is coming to an end. And kind of, if you look back to what we've seen in 2022, the VIX, bouncing between 20 and 30, I do think that is coming back in the next coming weeks. So let's see if that prediction plays out. Again, if you think that could happen, or if you think that's ridiculous and not going to happen, leave us a comment below. I would love to hear what you think. Now, before I'm going to go on to the final chart, I just wanted to talk about, just pull it up, our sponsor and run by ourselves, Crypcomps. Fantastic opportunity to win yourselves up to £10,000 worth of crypto. You can win Bitcoin, you can win altcoins, you can have stable coins. All you have to do is visit crypcomps.com, guys. Visit the website. We've got 2 competitions running currently. The competition 8, as mentioned, you can win up to £10,000, and a competition 9, you can win up to £1,000. Now, competition 8 is £5 a ticket to enter. Competition 9 is only £1 a ticket to enter. You scroll down, you can see how many tickets are sold so far. You can have multiple entries. It's a skill-based competition. You have to answer a question. Once you've selected your tickets, you have to answer a question correctly to be entered into the prize draw. So good luck to anyone who wins. And yeah, we had a fantastic winner last time out. Syed won £10,000, so congratulations to him, and I'm really looking forward to seeing who will be our next lucky winner. Now, let's get back onto the charts. So, last chart I wanted to finish off with, guys, is the DXY. Okay, DXY is a really interesting chart for me at the moment, okay? Initially, I was talking about the DXY a lot earlier in the year, and I'm going to be continuing to talk about the DXY a lot more for the rest of the year. Now, I did initially think that 101 would hold. That was kind of the key level that I thought was going to hold. However, it did dip below. I didn't turn all of a sudden flip super bearish on the DXY. I just kind of wanted to see how it was going to play out. Certainly, if it had broken 95 or less and carried on down, I may have flipped bearish and, reassessed my opinions. However, we had a move down to under 100, and it was really interesting to see all over X and again in news outlets. People started saying the dollar was dead. This was only a few weeks back, guys. If you can remember, the dollar's dead, and that has marked perfectly with the bottom of the DXY currently. As soon as we started hearing the dollar is dead, we know smart money has got back into it and has started to look pretty impulsive to the upside, in my opinion. DXY is currently above 105 on this weekend. Going to be really interesting to see how it plays out for the rest of the week. Now, my high time frame target, again, that I've talked about for over 2 years now, I do think that we can see 120 minimum on the DXY. Is it possible that the top came in here back in October 22? Absolutely, guys. Maybe we even see a double top, who knows? But I'm still holding out on 120 until invalidated, and I put consolidation above 105.50. The bulls are in really big trouble, in my opinion. Really, really big trouble. Any bulldogs out there, you do not want to see any consolidation. You really need to start seeing that DXY start to, not just like pull back next week or the coming weeks, but you probably not need to see it starting to tank and maybe look like a bit of a bull trap and a bit of a fake out, and as it heads down. But at the minute, looking pretty strong. Broke out of this tendon wedge, and if we get a bounce off here, even if we pull back to 103 and then get a bounce and set a higher high for the year, that is going to be super bullish on the DXY. So still looking good for that target of 120, in my opinion. Now, to finish off, guys, just want to talk about the Discord. Obviously, again, Discord is free to join. However, if you join the channel membership, you've got access to so much more in there, especially the trading zone. We've been absolutely crushing trades all for like the last few months. To be honest, we've got a lot open. I'm going to talk about some of those trades throughout videos this week coming. But yeah, we've had a lot of really good wins, and yeah, I like to put out where my entries are, what potential stop losses are, how I'm laddering into positions. I've been mostly taking shorts, especially for the last 3 months, because that's been working for us. Not saying that you can long in a bear market. Absolutely, you can get longs in a bear market. We even managed to get a very good long on Bitcoin in particular, going back some months ago, from about 25k all the way up to 30k. So we do take some longs on this channel. However, do mainly take shorts, and that's basically the strategy that I've been working on in this bear market, and it's been pretty successful. So gonna wrap this one up there, guys. Starting to lose my voice again, so thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Again, if you've enjoyed it and you haven't already smashed that like, go ahead and do so now. I will see you again. Thank you.